Scanning for audio.
Hello, welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, I'm going to be talking, well, you've probably guessed what I'll be talking about. It's The Girl Who Waited, episode 10 of season 6, or season series, or whatever you want to call it. Smith 2.10? Should we go with that? Now, I've got a list of points to make in my lovely black notebook, and at the top I've written pointless points. So rather than mess about and take up precious bandwidth with rambling about Torchwood or anything like that, straight on with The Girl Who Waited.
Will you be visiting long?
Good question. Bit sinister. What's the answer to not get us killed?
It's okay, I've got you, you're fine.
Will you be visiting long?
Doctor, a little help, Doctor!
And where have you been?
Will you be
What do I tell
visiting
it?
I've been here a week.
A week!
A week!
I'm so sorry.
Aha, same room, different times, two different time streams running parallel but at different speeds.
Amy, you're in a faster time stream.
Doctor is going again.
Now I think, from other people's reactions to this story, that I was in a bad mood when I watched this. I didn't feel like I was in a bad mood. I felt like I was just in a mood for watching Doctor Who. Shoved it on, watched it, kind of enjoyed it, wrote some notes down, that was it. There are some other people who also get to see the episode early, and they were texting me saying how much they'd enjoyed it. But that just wasn't for me. That wasn't my experience of this episode. For me, my initial reactions was, not particularly great aging makeup. There were times when she looked just a little bit like, well, one of the French and Saunders fat men. Except, of course, to say that she was still skinny as a rake, the skinniest 55-year-old I've ever seen in my life. This story had bonuses. It was the first story in a long time that didn't have a random child inserted into it for no reason. There was just something that didn't quite ring true when I was watching it. Yes, it's an acting challenge for, well, Karen. And I'm going to leave that in your own capable hands to decide whether she does a good job or not. We've got two Amys on our hands. We've got Amy, young Amy, and we've got the Paradox Amy, or Doxy. We've also got Rory. We've got Rory in glasses. My points started off very well thought out. How did she make a sonic probe stroke lance? Is this a nod to the Colin Baker action figure? Probably not. Not that wonderful an aging process. Yes, I've already covered that. That's just me being picky. Kind hands. Why would you design a machine that saw through its hands? What's the point? Again, that didn't make much sense. It reminded me, in its basic premise, not of Terminator or Day of the Daleks, again, fitting in nicely with DVDs that are being released around now. Story-wise, no. It reminded me of Catch 1882, with the beloved Miss Langford, and a Sixth Doctor story. No, my problems with it isn't the paradox or the paradox machine that would have to be employed in order to keep her alive, which of course the TARDIS has in fact been before if we cast our minds back to Dubby Doctor. No, it's that Doxy, Amy, she decides that she wants to live, that she wants to survive, she wants to go on. She at no point goes, if I let the other Amy live, and I did call her Lamey there, I apologise, if I let the other Amy live, then I won't get to see River for 36 years. She won't get to see her daughter grow up, or indeed spend time with her. Now I know she has in fact spent time watching her daughter grow up because, well, she grew up with Melanie. Now, I have a point to make about that. A lot of people have said, how come Melanie's never been mentioned before? Well, there is another alternative rather than Moffat just being lazy and clumsy. The Melanie friend didn't exist in Rory and Amy's time stream until they met River Song. River Song then travels back in time and inserts herself into the storyline. She herself is a paradox, but as a person, she didn't go to the wedding because she didn't exist at that point, because she hadn't been conceived. River Song existed, but the child Melanie or Mel didn't truly exist, so she couldn't go to her own wedding because that timeline hadn't quite fully developed until she was conceived. Once she was conceived, that arc began, and therefore she was inserted into the timeline and making the timeline work better. It all depends on whether you believe in destiny or not. I'm not going to use the word timey-wimey, I can't be bothered. It's not even a grandfather paradox, it's just a character doesn't turn up on time paradox. But yes, that's what annoyed me. River was not mentioned. She didn't see the need to go and see her daughter. Old Amy. Perhaps it comes down to nature versus nurture. Nature being the original Amy, and nurture being the one who's had life affect her. Nurture the old Amy. Perhaps I'm reading too much into this. No, I think that's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be reading too much into it. It's not Rory's choice. In many respects, it's the TARDIS's choice over who comes with her. We either leave the young Amy or the old Amy. You can't take them both, and that's fine. They both want to live. Yes, there's a moment of self-sacrifice on behalf of the old Amy. Ninja Amy. Sorry, not ninja. Samurai. Where she gets the sword from is beyond me. Oh, it was lovely to see Tim Burton's garden appearing in this. No, getting back, I did like it. It wasn't the worst story ever by any stretch of the imagination. Lovely nods to other stories. The glasses, yes, and if they were David Tennant's glasses, there's a load of fan fiction out there waiting to be written about video being able to be seen and seeing through David's eyes and all of that icky stuff. Is it about time? Or the choices, the things that make us who we are? Or some other Star Trek-y nonsense? Yes, it's another emotional journey, and the important moment is kind of skated over when Rory says, "I don't want to travel with you anymore." However, all of this is made pointless by one thing that has happened earlier on. Plastic Rory, a Rory that has nothing to do with Rory at all, because let's face it, real Rory dies, Auton Rory comes along, has 2,000 years worth of plastic experience, and then eventually dies. But real Rory turns up after that, when the universe is rebooted. Real Rory and Plastic Rory have shared memories. Now, is this because the universe was rebooted? Because if that's the case, then my next statement won't make sense. But if it's just because two parallel timelines merge into one, new Amy, new young Amy, may start having the memories of other Amy, of Doxy Amy. Oh, something else that I also forgot to mention last time was the psychic pick is now working again, which means that it wasn't destroyed by the shark attack. Yes, I'm rambling again, aren't I? The big magnifying glass, another nod to Sherlock Holmes. No, is it? I don't know. Perhaps it's just my personal dislike for plots that have got time travel in them. Well, that's hardly a surprise to anyone. Right, because I'm pushed for space, I'm going to upload this so that it goes live as soon as the episode's aired. Next week we'll be talking about... Oh, David Walliams. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sure that he only gets sent on these exciting adventures in order, well, for people to know where he is. Look, I'm going to go and try and get into a better mood for next week, because I'm sure everyone else loved it, and I'm sure that everyone else, well, is right. Be seeing you. You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.